What happens when world champions start hunting for new kingdoms, and their angriest critics insist they've never even defended the castles they already own? In one wild stretch, Daniel Cormier and Din Thomas nearly scorched a studio, arguing over pound-for-pound royalty. Ilia Topuria toyed with quitting at his absolute peak, and Jon Jones retired on a Monday, only to file a comeback notice by Friday. With every headline, the MMA power grid flickered, rankings spun like slot reels, and fans wondered whether belts still mean anything. Stick around, because the final twist in this story yanks the crown off someone you'd never expect. The show was supposed to be routine. Two respected analysts sipping coffee, filling a slow Tuesday with civilized fight talk. Then Din Thomas casually dropped the grenade. Islam Makhachev isn't touching pound for pound #1 unless he beats a real Hall of Famer. Jack Della Maddalena isn't that guy. Daniel Cormier's grin froze. For half a beat, he looked like he'd misheard. Then the former double champ straightened his notes, leaned toward Din, and fired back. 4 defenses at lightweight and a shot to conquer welterweight? That's historic, Din. Jack's the champ on a 10-fight heater, and Islam's ready to take his head. The temperature spiked so fast the on-set monitors fogged. Producers whispered about cutting to commercial. Instead, they let it ride. Din doubled down, calling Jack the newest face on the poster, not an all-time scalp. DC's eyebrow shot up. Classic tell that the gloves were off. He rattled off stats: Jack's finish rate, his surgical dismantling of Bilal Muhammad, his 5-round lungs. Din waved it off as dismissively good, not legendary. Viewers flooded the live chat with flame emojis. The feed lagged under the surge. Cormier's final volley landed like a right hook. If Islam marches up, strangles the welterweight champ, and stacks gold on gold, you'll call him king. Quote me. Din smirked, eyes flashing, but the segment's timer beeped before he could swing again. Off camera, staffers swear the debate kept raging for 10 more minutes, ending only when DC's earpiece reminded him he had another hit to film. Yet while two veterans traded barbs in Vegas, a quieter storm, one with retirement written all over it, was brewing across the Atlantic. Inside a polished Madrid studio, soft lights haloed Ilia Topuria like a late-night crooner instead of a cage killer. Spain's top influencer David Martinez expected fiery callouts, maybe Paddy Pimblett slander, perhaps an Armand Sarukian tease. Instead, El Matador folded his arms, exhaled, and said in Spanish, "It's hard to wake up hungry for war when you've already conquered your dream." Social media detonated within seconds. An undefeated 2-division champion, still shy of 30, flirting with the R word. Fans hammered the comment section with panic gifs and goat emojis, but insiders weren't shocked. Topuria's inner circle has whispered for months that the Georgian-Spanish phenom keeps a private bucket list with a brutal final line: retire by age 30, brain intact, legacy pristine. He's already iced Charles Oliveira in 1, begged Dana White for a chance to chase a 3rd belt at welterweight, and been stonewalled each time. Emphatically, "I need mountains," Topuria confessed on air, tapping his chest. Confidently, "Lightweight is a hill I've already climbed." Dana's public veto felt like a padlock on the cage, and every new no bruises his motivation. Rumor mill spun: is Ilia leveraging early retirement talk to force a super fight payday? Or is the burnout real, the hunger genuinely fading? Teammates note his gym arrivals are later, his sparring rounds shorter, his post-session laughs sharper. One coach privately mused thoughtfully, "He's a Ferrari idling in park, beautiful but wasting fuel." As footage of that interview rippled worldwide, rival champions perked up. A restless king is a vulnerable king, and some predators smell blood in confidence. Meanwhile, the Dagestani freight train Topuria, once labeled methodical, was gearing up for a weight class jump that could rewrite history. In the echoing halls of American Kickboxing Academy, wrestlers whisper that Islam Makhachev's sparring partners suddenly look suspiciously heavy. The reigning lightweight ruler has already silenced 4 straight challengers, each defeat as methodical as a surgeon's stitch. Now he's eyeing welterweight, specifically Jack Della Maddalena, the Aussie brawler with fists like cinder blocks and a gas tank that doesn't whine. Critics claim Jack lacks marquee aura, spreadsheets disagree. 10 fights, 10 wins, 3 brutal finishes in the last year alone. For Islam's camp, the gamble is twofold. First, the physics. 15 extra pounds of opponent muscle means harder hips to chain wrestle and heavier hooks grazing the chin. Second, the logistics. Visa paperwork for Dagestani fighters once pushed an entire camp to Abu Dhabi on 2 weeks' notice, and no one wants that roulette wheel spinning again. Yet the payoff is mythical. Become Dagestan's first 2-division champ and you leapfrog Topuria. Crush Din Thomas's critique and X your name beside legends who vaulted weight classes without missing a beat. Training footage leaks in flashes. Islam shadow boxing in altitude masks, drilling single legs on a 6'4" kickboxer, practicing southpaw counters for Jack's piston jab. Each clip sparks new prop bets in Vegas. Odds on Islam by submission open at plus 150, then plummet to minus 110 within hours. But momentum carries risk. Bulking up can sap the speed that makes his smothering style so suffocating. Coaches monitor every protein shake, every dawn treadmill sprint, praying the added mass doesn't dilute the relentless pressure fans know too well. If the jump succeeds, Islam could hold 2 belts by Christmas. If it fails, he may return to lightweight slower, drained, and stripped of aura. And every move he makes keeps the online pound-for-pound civil war raging hotter, right as heavyweight chaos starts spilling into the streets. Scroll any fight forum at 3 in the morning and you'll see digital trenches. Eagle emoji brigades for Ilia Topuria, green flag armies for Islam Makhachev, and Din Thomas reaction gifs looping like artillery flashes. On Monday, a Twitter X poll crowned Topuria with 62% of 45,000 votes. By lunchtime Tuesday, a Reddit mega thread flipped the margin to Islam after someone posted leaked sparring clips from AKA. Even Vegas can't keep up. Oddsmakers changed their pound-for-pound futures twice in one afternoon, crashing 2 betting apps. Analysts scream legacy versus recency. Stat nuts point to Topuria's legend slayer resume, Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier, Charles Oliveira, while spreadsheet hawks note Islam's absurd 88% round winning rate across 4 defenses. Strength of schedule charts bounce around social feeds like flashing stock tickers. One graph shows Topuria's foes with a combined 29 title fights. Another counters that Islam has lost exactly 1 round since 2023. Then there's the Din factor. His line, "Jack's not Hall of Fame material," has mutated into a meme, slapped on everything from crying Jordan photos to Shrek's face. Each repost stirs fresh arguments about what counts as a legacy scalp. Meanwhile, DC doubles down in interviews. When Islam walks out with 2 belts, this debate dies. Din counters, he still hasn't beaten a true immortal. Underneath the hashtags real friendships fray. 2 pro fighters reportedly scrapped in a Vegas hotel lobby over ranking trash talk. Sponsors love the engagement, managers hate the distraction. And while the keyboard war rages, champions are already drafting contracts that could render every hot take obsolete overnight. Because at heavyweight, where one punch rewrites history, chaos is blooming in real time. Tom Aspinall's ascension was cinematic. Step-in replacement, first-round finish, belt wrapped around his waist before the sweat dried. 1 week later, microphones swarmed him with a single question: is Jon Jones next? Tom's answer, a polite but firm no, shocked half the room. He knows the clock outpaces everyone, especially knees that chirp like rusty hinges each morning. His physio schedule rivals his sparring plan: swimming at dawn, low-impact circuits by noon, ice bath meditation at dusk. Contender math looks messy. Cyril Gaines, still ranked number 1, brings sleek footwork, but also the stink of that razor-thin decision over Volkov. Jailton Almeida, unbeaten at heavyweight, mauls wrestle dummies on Instagram and calls Tom's name with every win. Pavlovich lurks too, wielding sledgehammer hands and a 9-fight KO streak. Each matchup offers intrigue and career-altering risk. Behind closed doors, Tom's team favors Almeida. Stylistic contrast, fresh storyline, bigger European gate. The UFC, they'd cash a Cyril Wembley blockbuster tomorrow, but ticket price dreams collide with timeline nightmares. Add Jon Jones's shadow, retired, unretired, maybe injured, maybe not, and every plan wobbles like a 3-legged stool. Tom, ever practical, told one podcast, "I'd rather defend 3 times against killers than wait a year for a ghost." Fans loved the honesty. Matchmakers heard a bargaining chip. If Jones stays sidelined, the Brit could log 2 defenses before the GOAT even clears medicals. But one phone buzz from Dana White can nuke any blueprints, and the man capable of sending that late-night text is the very legend Tom keeps politely sidestepping. March 12, 2025, Jon Jones surrenders the heavyweight belt, citing life beyond the octagon. March 18th, paparazzi film him pad working at an Albuquerque gym. June 30th, paperwork lands on USADA's desk. Jones is back in the testing pool. Eligibility clock ticking toward December. The whiplash would make a chiropractor rich. Skeptics chart motives. Theory A, legacy anxiety. Walking away without a title defense felt hollow. Theory B, sponsor pressure. No cage time, no premium bonus. Theory C, pure gamesmanship. Keep contenders guessing, keep cameras pointed his way. Whatever the reason, the comeback tweet sparked a 28% spike in UFC Google searches within 24 hours. Yet trust is brittle. Fans remember overturned wins, picogram sagas, late-night traffic reports. Even Daniel Cormier, 9-year rival, says he'd still pick Jon over Aspinall with one eye closed, but then smirks if he shows up. Coaches whisper that Jon's back was never as shredded as advertised. Leaked clips show him drilling blast doubles on 250-pound wrestlers at 3 a.m. Could all the injury talk be smoke? USADA's 6-month window means earliest clearance, New Year's Day 2026. That aligns awkwardly with Wembley plans, Abu Dhabi cards, and Tom's own ticking body clock. If Jon delays again, the belt could rotate twice before he re-enters. But if he commits, the payday dwarfs every other heavyweight headline. Networks drool over pre-fight documentaries, rivals rehearse callouts in bathroom mirrors. And whenever Jon shakes the MMA tree, fruit falls across every weight class. Picture Islam seizing welterweight gold in November. Leon Edwards, proud but pragmatic, tweets a handshake emoji within minutes, angling for a super fight at Tottenham. Meanwhile, Topuria still belt heavy, yet appetite light, eyes Riyadh's boxing riches or flirts with one championship's open weight circus. Dana White fields midnight calls from 3 continents, juggling time zones like flaming batons. If Jones truly signs to face Aspinall next spring, Cyril Gane pivots to Pavlovich, Almeida draws Derek Lewis, and the heavyweight bracket mutates overnight. Pay-per-view calendars shuffle. Marketing teams redesign posters before ink dries. Each confirmed matchup pulls another thread. ESPN argues for a champ-champ doubleheader. Abu Dhabi lobbyists push for October exclusivity. Prime Video whispers about splashing 9-figure sponsorship money provided a title fight lands during Q4. In the lower divisions, Arman Tsarukyan camps near his phone, praying Topuria vacates. Dustin Poirier, sensing final run vibes, angles for a legacy bout regardless of belts. Managers forecast a record-breaking contract quarter as restless champions negotiate off pure leverage. Yet the strongest tremor isn't financial, it's existential. Fans debate whether belts still crown greatness or just mark time between bigger moments. When every champ seems eyeing another throne, traditional divisions feel like bus stops, not destinations. That existential itch drifts upward, from Reddit threads to athlete mindsets, feeding the very restlessness that started the chain reaction. Which begs the question we can't ignore. A studio feud that spiked heart rates, an undefeated phenom flirting with early exit, a Dagestani juggernaut bulking for history, a heavyweight king searching for a dance partner, and a legend toggling retirement like a light switch. This isn't chaos, it's the new normal. Champions chase moments, not defenses. Fans crave plot twists over polished reigns. Maybe that's evolution, or maybe it's the slow devaluation of the very hardware fighters bleed for. So where does it end? When Islam walks out with 2 belts, will that satisfy the hunger or spark a leap to middleweight? If Topuria retires unbeaten, does his absence inflate the next champ's stock or expose the belt as hollow? And if Jon Jones never sets foot in the octagon again, will heavyweight gold feel legitimate or rented? Drop your answers below, because tomorrow's press conference could rewrite every argument you just typed. Hit subscribe, strap in, and remember, in modern MMA, the only undisputed champion is uncertainty.